Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and it's time for House of the Dragon, Season 1, Episode 6, The Princess and the Queen. Welcome, everybody. Sorry, I was going to make a joke there, and I just went through my head, and I'm like, nope, not going to do it. Welcome, everybody. Let me take care of some business first, and we'll get down to it. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that's going to pop up over here at the very end of this video. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos, my vast video library, and pops it up here just for you. And if you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button down below there. And if you can, hit that like button, the share button as well. And if you want to know when I'm going to be on live again next, go over to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule I have up there. I change it every week. Also have all the links to my social media there and all the links to my pages as well. All right, let's get started, shall we? Spoiler alert, I am going to spoil the episode. If you have not seen the episode, go and watch it. Come on back. This will be a video, and then you can comment down below in the comment section. All right. Giving you enough time to roll away or pause, whatever you need to do. All right. So we do another time jump again this time around. Hey, Cheryl. We jump ahead 10 years this time around. Yeah, 10 years. At first I thought it was 15 years or something like that. But no, it's only been 10 years. And um good God. I mean, Viserys is still alive. He's still hanging on there. Allison is the one who's really kind of guiding things here and there. And of course, Rhaenyra is married, uh, pretty much in name only. I mean, yeah, her and Lanier are not really. Um, well, of course, he's out with his dudes. She's got her guy. She's got another knight that she's screwing around with, and she is pumping out heirs. Male heirs. She's got three sons. Actually, she gives birth to a male son as we open up the episode there. Although they none of them have white hair like her and her husband. Of course, they all have dark hair like her her knight. Yeah. So, and of course, the knight is Sir Harwin. Yeah. So it's Harwin Strong. Yes, Harwin Breakbones Strong, who of course is the son of the right hand of the king. And yeah, there's rumors that are going around. The queen is pissed, of course, because Allison is pissed because of this scandal. The king will not say anything about it. He is under the delusions that everything's fine. And yeah, in the meantime, the queen is raising her own sons, who of course do have the white hair, and yeah, they're just little shits though. So what the showrunners have said about this is the reason why they did this time jump, and why there's probably going to be another time jump as well. And also we've changed up actresses too. So for both Alicent and I'm blanking on her name all of a sudden, for Alicent and Rhaenyra. So we've changed out actresses for them. We now have older actresses because 10 years they could have still had the same actresses play them, but still, what the hell. um but they said that the reason for this time jump is for to show the children that are going to be fighting in the upcoming war together. And that's the reason why they're doing this. And it's, I don't know, it feels so disjointed. I mean, here we are, episode 6, and we've had like what, 3 time jumps now, 4 time jumps. I've kind of lost track. And I honestly kind of don't care about the characters, to tell you the truth. I mean, the only one that I'm still kind of rooting for at the moment is Damon, of all people. So speaking of Damon, Damon has married Lady Lana Leanna. Valarian, and he has all female heirs that he's been, having there, and only one. He has two girls. His wife, of course, is pregnant with a third, and they are basically just roaming. They're across the ocean, is where they are. They are roaming different kingdoms. They are guests at different kingdoms, and they are offered basically to stay at one place with their dragons to protect this kingdom in exchange for gold. Is really what it comes down to. And there's three dragons, of course. It's his wife's, and his oldest daughter. The youngest daughter, her dragon egg has not hatched. She's 8 years old, and the dragon egg has not hatched. And it sometimes happens where it just doesn't hatch. And her mother tells her, that she didn't get her dragon until she was 15, because anyway. We also see that Allison's children are just little shits, and Aegon has grown up. I guess he's 15 now. I can't really tell. I mean, honestly, the time jumps have fucked everything over age-wise. I can't tell who's what age now or what they're supposed to be. Um, but yeah, he's just like this little shitty man child, if you will, and doesn't take anything seriously. She wants him to take, being a prince more seriously, and also to kind of see what the fuck's going on in the court. Yeah, in all of this. Uh, Sir Cole, by the way, is now working. Well, he's part of the Queen's entourage, and he is also training her children. He's training the queen and king's children in the art of warfare, of course. And when Sir Harwin is, training, well, his children, really, uh, Sir Cole kind of makes a, you know, he forces the issue, is what happens. So what he does is he has the queen's oldest child face off against the princess's oldest child, and then when Sir Harwin steps in, when of course it's unevenly matched because of the age difference, uh, Sir Cole makes a comment about no one does that unless they're protecting their brother or a son. And that's when Harwin just fucking loses his mind and beats the shit out of Cole. And it becomes a big to do because, one, you're not supposed to do that. And two, he kind of already let slip that, yes, he is the father of these children. So, of course, he gets banished from King's Landing there, and he's going to get sent back home, and he's going to become a lord of the castle, of the strong castle and all this kind of stuff. In the meantime, um, Lars, Lars Strong, Lars Strong, um, the guy who's infirm, I guess you could say, has some deformities and whatnot. He's been whispering poison in the queen's ear all this time, and she says, "I have no one to trust," kind of thing. And um, so, what does he do? He takes that as a kind of a go ahead to put plans in motion to kill both his father, who is the right hand of the king, and his brother, who is the queen, the princess's consort, if you will, and father of her children. And he burns them to death in a fire, is what happens, which also leaves open for Allison to bring her father back, Otto, as the right hand of the king, who's been, exiled these 10 years, or gone, I should say, absent these 10 years. And it's kind of funny because the right hand of the king wants to step down because of what's going on with the princess and his son, but refuses to tell the king that his daughter's fucking his son, and that the heirs are not of the husband that she's actually married to, because that's exactly what Otto said, and that's what got him take got that's how he lost the right hand of the king. He wanted to do it honorably, and of course, instead of doing that, he ends up dying instead. And in the meantime, all of this, Damon's wife goes into labor. She has to face the exact same thing that Emma happened. What happened to Emma? Breech birth. She's going to have to face the knife, which means that she's going to die. The child might die as well. But instead of doing that, she goes outside and has her dragon immolate her in fire. And she forces the dragon to burn her to death. And yeah, that's how she goes out. She wants to go out as a dragon rider, not in childbirth. Um yeah, so this is all what's going down right now. Um oh, and in all of this because of Sir Harwin being exiled, uh before Rhaenyra can actually find out that her husband or her consort has died, she and her husband take off and they go to Dragonstone, where that's her throne anyway. She leaves King's Landing finally. And in the meantime, Laris has hired three killers. Well, one, they're the ones who set the fire to the castle, and then two, they are also outside the road to Dragonstone, waiting for the princess and her husband. So we know stuff is going to happen now at this point. Um, yeah, it's I don't know. I you can follow it. It's kind of convoluted, but at the same time, these time jumps aren't helping anyone whatsoever. They really aren't. They're shitty is really what they are. I'm just gonna say it flat out. These time jumps are shitty. Um, I don't know how they could have done this better than there is a way of doing it better. In that you don't if you just started with the older characters, I think yes, it is confusing, Cheryl. I agree with you. If they started with these older characters first and just alluded to I mean, I don't know. There's a different way of doing it, and I this was not the right way of doing it. Maybe it clears things up. I can't remember how many episodes we have for this season. I'm actually going to look right now because you know I can't remember offhand because my brain has been Swiss cheese for a little while now. We have 10 episodes. So we're at episode 6 right now. So yeah, we have 4 episodes left. Um, we'll see what happens here. Um, Damon, of course, now losing his wife, having just his 2 daughters left, and still having, all the 3 dragons. Most likely he's gonna pop off at some point here and make a claim for the throne again, is what I'm thinking is gonna happen. He knows what's happening with his niece, as well, and I don't know, man. I really don't know where we're going with this. It's rather kind of boring, to tell you the truth. And I'm not saying that because I'm looking for fights or anything like that. I'm just talking about the storyline itself. There is no clear-cut villain. There is no uh real political intrigue either, not any kind of court machinations, anything like that, other than what Laris is doing. And yeah. And I mean, yes, I understand, Rhaenyra has been living this huge lie of what she's doing. She's been basically faking all this stuff, thinking that no one knows that she's lying when everyone knows that she's lying. And they're just not saying anything because to say anything out loud means that it's slander, and the king's just going to exile them or worse, kill them. So, yeah. So, of course, no one's going to say anything. But that's where we leave off with this episode. And I don't know. Are we going to see the younger versions of these characters again? Are we going to have a flashback again? I don't know. I kind of hope not. It's confusing enough as it is to do this fucking jump forward 10 years. Are we going to jump forward again at some point and have even older children now because they're supposed to go into the war, and then have these older, Rhaenyra and Alicent end up taking over the roles? Yeah, like I said, it's just all kinds of confusing now at this point. So, yeah, not the greatest of series at the moment. Is it better than Game of Thrones? Um, the first season of Game of Thrones? No, it's not better than the first season of Game of Thrones. The first season of Game of Thrones is heads and tails much more coherent one and better structured than this one was. It really is. This one is not anywhere near that. It's all over the place. Uh, a lot of things are hidden, I guess you could say, and like at one point where Rhaenyra has given birth and the queen immediately says, I want to see the child, and she's like, fuck you, I'm not giving up my child. She goes, I'm going to bring her up there. So just after having given birth, she walks up there and she says, oh shit. And her husband's like, what? She goes, never mind, let's just keep going. And after she talks to the queen and the king, she leaves and she says, "You're there's an offhanded remark of you're not the one who's bleeding," is what she says to her, to her husband in an offhanded way. And then you see, if you look, and I just have I happen to have the big screen TV. There's a trail of blood behind her on the floor. She's been bleeding all this fucking time, and they really don't show that. They just kind of leave you to see if you can spot it on your own. And it's shit like that where you have something that is important and kind of shows you the shit that she's going through as well, and kind of leaving it to be, if you're an eagle-eyed, watching this thing and have a big enough screen TV where you can spot it, versus spelling out a little bit more, I guess you could say. That's why this show kind of sucks. It's the directors, the showrunners, even the writers as well, and it's not paced well at all. So that's all we're gonna leave it at there. Um, and again, Damon is the best part of all of this because he's not really changing. He's just kind of sitting around waiting for shit to happen, is what's going on. He hasn't changed in the 10 years other than, he got married and had a couple of kids. That's all. Yeah, I should say he got remarried and had a couple of kids. So, yeah, not the greatest series. But anyway. So what else do I have going on for the rest of this week? Well, tomorrow I'm going to be off. I know I was talking about doing an is it worth my time, but no, I'm going to take a little bit of a break. Um Wednesday, of course, is going to be Andor, episode 4 of Andor. We'll see if it continues on its slow plodding molasses like process. Um, Thursday is going to be She Hulk. Thank God for She Hulk. That's all I can say. Because, yeah, that's about the only thing that's holding me together at the moment. Friday is going to be Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. Saturday, I'm going to be off. And then Sunday will be the Sunday edition of Saturday Morning Blast Off, where I take the genre news of the week and any genre stuff you guys want to talk about. We talk about it. Hopefully that does happen, barring any kind of emergency at work that I have to go into. And that's what happened yesterday. Was there was a power outage at work, and I had to go in and make sure that everything was up and running. And yeah, it was just a nightmare. Anyway, and of course, then next Monday is going to be another episode of House of the Dragon. So there you go. Then we all come back around full circle. So, with that said, I'm going to let you guys go for the rest of the night. I want to thank everyone who joined me tonight in the chat. I know there's some lurkers in there too. And thank you if you watched it this far in the video. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos, my vast video library, and pops it up here just for you. And if you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button down below there. And if you can, hit that like button, the share button as well. And if you want to know when I'm going to be on live again next, go over to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule up there. I change it out every week. I just changed it out today, as a matter of fact. And take a look at what I've got going on up there. I also have all the links to my social media there and all the links to my pages as well, like YouTube. There's a YouTube page where you guys can post stuff and chat amongst yourselves as well. There's all kinds of stuff that's there. And yeah, that's all I'm going to leave there with. Thank you, everyone. I will see you again on Wednesday for Andor. Until then, Don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may be asked to go and see the queen to show your baby that you just gave birth to, but you're bleeding. And yeah, it's just all kinds of a shit show. Thanks, everybody. I will see you again on Wednesday. Stay safe, be well, take care, wear those masks, get those vaccine shots, get the boosters as well. They don't work without the boosters. And stay safe out there, everyone. Thanks. I will see you again on Wednesday. Have a good rest of your night.